All right, up next, we have Joe Burke. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. Howdy, yeah. All right, so jumping right into, oh, my timer hadn't started. There it is. Okay, so jumping into it. A map, of course, is a 2D depiction of a 3D world. This one is showing, using color, changes in elevation. From sea level up, you've got topography. From sea level down, you've got bathymetry. We're going to talk about bathymetry. It's timely because just recently, 3 weeks ago, in fact, this map came out. This is a measurement of depth of the ocean taken by radar from a satellite in space. Think about that for a second. Depths of the ocean using radar measuring sea surface level from space. First time this has ever happened. That's great if you're doing scientific study, but not necessarily very good for a ship that's coming into a port, where you need to know just how deep it is and just exactly where the least depths are. That's hydrography. That's where nautical charts come from. We're going to talk about hydrography and how I used to be a hydrographer, but in particular, Prince William Sound. So in a previous life, I'm a lawyer now, I used to be a hydrographer. I have a hit list of my favorite charts, my favorite least depths. I've got one on the western edge of the Dry Tortugas, the mouth of Chesapeake Bay, Bahia Guanahabra outside of Rio for the Rio Olympics, and this one, Prince William Sound and Bligh Reef. Prince William Sound is a spectacular place. It's a spectacular combination of industrial work and commercial fisheries and beautiful scenery, right? Very similar to Louisiana. You see the mountains, they drop right in. It's full of incredible things. It became notorious on March 24th, 1989, when the Valdez ran into Bligh Reef, a reef that's on the left side or the east side of the channel, and it spilled 10 million gallons of oil into the sound, which is a distant second to the Deepwater Horizon, which spilled 210 million gallons. So here, this is the Mount Rainier, a U.S. ship in 2004, where I spent a very long time that summer surveying the least depth of Prince William Sound, including surveying the least depth of Bligh Reef, the very spot that the Valdez hit. This is the Valdez, Alaska, which is the southern terminus of the Trans-Alaskan pipeline. It's also where you can go into a bar and order a Captain Hazelwood, the guy who was driving the Valdez. I cannot remember exactly what the ingredients are, but I know that both Captain Hazelwood and I left leaning left. So, ship operations. In order to get this done, you're on a ship out in the middle of nowhere. And from this ship, the Rainier, we would put in smaller boats I'm going to show you in a second. And you have to be out where you're surveying, and you have to have access to the places that you are going to survey. How do you do that? With these smaller boats. You lower them down in the morning. There you go. You're off and running. And these boats allow you to get in the cracks and crevices and to all of the places that a larger ship can't be, but all of the places that a larger ship needs to know how shallow or deep is it, and exactly where are the shallow places versus the deep places. Where can I safely navigate? What are you doing? You're collecting the least depth using a multi-beam transformer. It spreads out this ray of sound. It's measuring how long does it take for a ping to go from the boat to the bottom and back over a spread distance. The deeper it is, the wider the spread. This is actually very complicated. You've got a very brief explanation. Here I am measuring the sound, measuring this piece of equipment that I'm putting in. This is 25-year-old me. I put that piece of equipment down, you send it all the way to the bottom, and it's measuring the changes in temperature and the changes in salinity, because those two things make big differences in how fast the sound travels through the water. And if you don't know that, you can't figure out how deep it is. This is Bligh Reef itself. This is the spot that the Valdez hit, and that is the spot that we measured the least depth of. I'm very happy that I measured the least depth of, and I know exactly how deep it is and exactly where the least depth of Bligh Reef is. And if you put a bunch of 25-year-olds on a ship that can't go into a town, you find things to do for fun. One of them is water skiing. That's me. That's a very thick wetsuit because I am from South Louisiana. And every time I fell, I very honestly was afraid of being eaten by something, including the orca whales that you see. Prince William Sound is surrounded by 17 tidal glaciers. It's an incredibly impressive place. As I said, you put a bunch of 25-year-olds on a ship that can't go back into town, you find things to do. We had left and gone out to see Columbia Glacier, one of many. It's really, really impressive. We also caught a lot of fish. These are halibut. We ate them all, I promise you. We caught halibut, we caught salmon, we caught lingcod. When we would catch small lingcod and we would smoke them. We'd put them in the morning, we'd catch them in the morning, leave them there, and we'd eat them for dinner. It's a very fond memory of mine. I loved catching all these fish. That's not me, that's KJ, a friend of mine. You'd see seals all over the place. You'd see whales all over the place. You'd see bears all over the place. And to be very frank, it's very similar. I did a lot of surveying in Louisiana too, and you'd go around and, you know, their bears are our alligators. So it's a really neat place to be. So back to the work. We, in fact, were working most of the time. This is on the small boat. This is the screen that you can see. On the left, you can see where you are. On the right screen, right there off my cheek, that's the data that's being collected. So you can actively, as you're moving forward, see how deep is it below this boat. You're accounting for the boat rolling. You're accounting for the tide coming up and down. And there's the result. Bly Reef, if you look at that circle, you can see it's less than 1 fathom. 1 fathom is 6 feet, so my height down. That's how deep it was. That's how deep the water was when the Valdez hit it. Right next to it, you see that 33? That's 100 feet. It's the side of a mountain under the water. And if you don't believe me that this is important to me, this is in my bedroom just a few days ago. These are my favorite 2 charts. The one on the right is Prince William Sound, and my finger's not quite on Bly Reef. You got to extend my finger about 2 inches, right, to get to that island, and then just above that island's Bly Reef. The other one is the entrance to Vermilion Bay, which is a place that's close to my heart. Thank you.